amazing students. Welcome back to another video. Today we're talking about inequality word problems. So again, we're doing multi-step, 1, 2, or more than 2-step word problems. And we've been focusing on inequalities for a while now. So this is just adding some words to our problems. All right, without further ado, let's do this thing. It says you have $20 to spend on taxi fare. The ride cost $5 plus $2.50 per kilometer. Remember, if it's per something, that $2.50 is the coefficient, right? Because they're being multiplied, $2.50 for each kilometer, plus $5 for the taxi, but you only have $20 to spend. So we're going to write an inequality to determine the distance in kilometers represented by the variable d that you can ride for $20. Okay, so let's first start off with writing kind of the left-hand side of the inequality, right? Because I like to keep that variable on the left-hand side. So we're going to see what's happening over here on the left. Okay, so the ride costs $5 plus $2.50 per kilometer. So it's $5 just to sit in the taxi cab plus $2.50 per kilometer. And they told us to represent that with the variable d. Now, I only have $20 to spend, but I got to figure out what direction should my inequality sign be. Well, over here on this left-hand side, this represents how far I could travel in the taxi, but that has to be less than or equal to $20. Remember, I only have $20 to spend. If I go over that, I'm not going to have enough to pay the taxi cab. So you have to make sure that you're placing that inequality sign properly. All right, so once we have our inequality set up, now I just solve it. So step 1, move the constant. I'm going to get rid of this $5 fee right off the top. So that goes away because I have to pay the guy $5 or the lady $5 just to sit into the cab. So I bring down my $2.50 D. I bring down that inequality sign, and 20 minus 5 is 15. So now I have just a one-step inequality. I have that coefficient and the variable. So that means multiply, which means I divide each side by the coefficient, by $2.50. So D, the distance in kilometers, has to be less than or equal to, let's do in our calculator, 15 divided by 250, 6 kilometers. So at most, I can travel 6 kilometers because once I go over that, I don't have enough money. So D has to be less than or equal to 6 kilometers. And I could graph that if I needed to on the number line. All right. So think about it in terms of money, right? If you only have $20, you can only travel 6 kilometers at the most. And it can be less than or equal to. If it was exactly 6 kilometers, you'd have to pay exactly $20. If it was less than, you would still have enough money to cover it. All right, so let's look at this one. This says, Mr. Meter dropped off his car at the dealership to fix a funny noise coming from the engine. The dealership charges $50 to examine the car, so just to do what they call a diagnostic, and then $125 an hour, so per hour. Just because per is not there doesn't mean that that's not what's happening, to make any repairs. Mr. Meter has authorized his dealership to charge his credit card up to $550. Up to, but not over, think about that, $550. Up to how many hours can the dealership work on Mr. Meter's car? So we want to figure out how long can they work on his car. So we're going to use H to represent the hours. All right, so let's think about what's happening. All right, $125 per hour, right? That's how much they cost to work on his car, plus $50 to examine it, right? So there's like 1/2 of our inequality. 125H, right? $125 per hour, plus $50, which is the charge to like look at or do a diagnostic on the car. But he's authorized them to spend at least $550. So the work on the car has to, again, be less than or equal to $550, right? We can't have that be more than $550 because he hasn't authorized that. So now we just solve our two-step inequality. I start by subtracting that constant, right? Move the constant. So he has to pay that $50 fee up front. So $125 per hour. It now has to be less than or equal to $500 because 50 of those dollars went towards his fee, right? Just to get it examined or the diagnostic. Now I divide by that coefficient. We want to get rid of that 125. H comes down, less than or equal to 550 divided by 125. Sorry, 500 divided by 125, whoopsie, is 4 hours. So they can work on his car up to 4 hours, but not more than 4. So if they don't have it fixed within 4 hours, they're going to have to call back and ask for more money. All right, so that is how we set up and solve for multi-step, really 2-step inequalities. All right, your turn. Go off and complete your practice. If you need help, let me know. Bye.